Hey guys, in this video we're going to go over objects. So let's consider an example where we don't use them. So let's say that we wanted to keep track of a bunch of users and their ages. So let's say that user 1, her name is Lucy. String user 2 is equal to Joey. String user 3 is equal to Willie. Okay, so then let's just say that age 1 is equal to 10, age 2 is equal to 20, age 3 to 30. Okay, and then it's pretty straightforward. We can just print out the user's age and username via our normal println function. But this becomes a hassle when we want to store lots and lots of information about the user, such as perhaps like their email address, their password, I don't know, maybe like their social security number. There's lots of all of this. There's lots of information that we might want to store for every user, and it just isn't an effective way to create all of these variables inside of one function and then print all of those values out. Surely there must be some better way of doing this. And this is pretty much where objects come in handy. So an object, you can think about it as like a container that holds many different variables and holds a lot of their values. So let's create a very simple one right now. To create an object, we use something called a class. So a class, we have one right here, and we called it a person class. It's pretty much a blueprint. From this blueprint, from this class, you're able to construct an object. And this object, you can construct it using something called a constructor, as the name implies. So a constructor, it takes in basically a number of parameters, a number of values, just like functions did in our previous video. So it takes in a couple of values, and then we set some values for our variables declared up here. So, in summary, we pass in some values that lets us construct, we pass in some values, and those values let us basically construct our object. Then these variables up here, they get their values set to the variables we pass in. And this is just, actually I'll just demonstrate right here. Person 1 is equal to new user 1 and then age 1. So whenever we're constructing an object, we use this syntax right here where we say, that we create this person1 variable and then we assign it to a new person object by using this new keyword. So what this new keyword does is it creates a block of memory. So it creates a block of memory, and in that block of memory we're able to store this person data. We're able to store the person's data. So we get that block of memory, and then we get that block of memory using this variable called person1. So now we can access the values, the stuff we're storing inside person1, by using something called dot syntax. Let me actually reverse this. Plus user age. So what this is doing is it's creating the person object, and then we're simply fetching the person's username via like this dot. So you can imagine this as kind of like an arrow saying, okay, give me the person1 variable, and then go inside the person1 block of memory and fetch the username associated with that person. And same thing right here. Go inside the person1 block of memory and fetch the age associated with that user, and then add the two strings together, and then print everything out. And we can do this and we get Lucy 10. Cool. Now this is useful because we can create a bunch of persons. So we can get person 2, for example, user 2, and then age 2, and so on and so forth, and we can print them all out. We can even create arrays of objects. So we can even do this. Person array is equal to new person. And let's say that our array is going to hold 10 people. So this is a persons array, and it's going to hold 10 different persons. However, we need to actually initialize each element inside of our array. Each element right now has really no value inside of it. It's just 10 blocks of memory that all that Java knows is that we have 10 blocks of memory, and that each block of memory can hold a person object. So to actually create a person object inside each of these little blocks of memory, we have to do this basically. And then we can maybe do like I. So right now we're just going to give each block of memory, each person, no name, and we're just going to give them an age that corresponds to the index that they're located at. So block 1 is going to have an age of 1, block 2 or person 2 is going to have an age of 2, and so on and so forth. And so we could maybe comment this out now. And we could simply just iterate over our array again if we so chose, and just println person array I dot username, and well, I guess we don't say anything, so let me do age, user age, and yeah, so we get 0. Okay, so this was a very brief introduction to objects. There's a lot more to say about these. We'll get to them in the next couple of videos. I'll see you guys then.